I want to thank KiwiCo for sponsoring today's video. I'll talk more about them later on in the video. As we approach the end of August, people start getting really excited about the fall time. I start to see all the back to school stuff, and pumpkin spice lattes are starting to show up at all the different coffee shops. And as much as I absolutely love everything pumpkin and all the fall things, I still know that we have a few more weeks of summer to enjoy, and we still have some really fun summer plans. And so I'm going to embrace and enjoy this last bit of summer, and when it starts to cool down and fall time comes, I'll be more than excited for the season change. Season changes are always so exciting and fun, but I want to make sure that we still get the most out of our summer before we switch over to all things fall. I want to apologize now for my voice. I am just getting over a cold and I am like losing my voice, and so I'm trying my best to do this voiceover, but if I sound a little weird, that is why. Alright, so I am getting going here on making some soap. I recently told you guys that we raised some hogs and we sent them off to the butchers to get our meat. Along with the meat comes a lot of lard, and so these next couple of days I'm going to be making a homemade skincare basket using lard. This is actually for a gift. And lard is so wonderful for the skin. It has so many great benefits. It's super moisturizing. I love using it for soap. And I'm also going to be making some lip balm and also some whipped body butter. As you see here, I'm putting the baby in the wrap now, but I did not have a mommy before because I was working with lye. And then I set it up on my mantle out of the way so nobody can get to it. And I got all of the lye stuff put away. And so now I'm moving on to things that are less dangerous, and that's why I can have the baby on me now, because there's a lot of safety precautions when using lye. People ask why I even use it, and the answer is that all soap is made with lye. It's what makes soap soap. You melt down some type of fat, and in this case I'm using lard and a little bit of olive oil, and you mix it with your lye water, and that's just what you use to make soap. And so I just have to make sure that no one's around when I do it, but once everything's all mixed together and it is cured, it is no longer unsafe or bad for the skin. I'm also working on a whipped body butter. Like I said, this will be going in my skincare basket, and I'm adding in lavender essential oil. It smells so good. You see me putting it in this little container here, but then I realized it was definitely the wrong container, way too small, so I ended up switching it over to a bigger glass container to fit everything in. I have recipes for this soap that I'm making, and also the whipped body butter and the lip balms all over my blog, so I will link them for you guys down below. And even if you don't have any lard, you can make this with other ingredients like cocoa butter or shea butter or coconut oil, other types of fats. And so I have different recipes using all those different things. And so if you are interested in making soap or lip balm or any type of skincare, most likely I have a recipe for it on my blog, ouroilyhouse.com. I'm excited to tell you guys about today's video sponsor, KiwiCo. My kids absolutely love KiwiCo, and if you've been around my channel for a while, you've already heard about KiwiCo before. KiwiCo provides a monthly crate delivered to your door with fun, hands-on projects that are designed by experts and tested by kids. Every time the KiwiCo
box arrives in the mail. My kids get so excited. In fact, this month when the KiwiCo box arrived, we were getting home very late at night. We had been at the fair all day, and it was probably like 11:30 at night, and my kids saw it and they're like, oh my gosh, can we do it right now? And I was like, no, it's like almost midnight. So anyway, we ended up doing it the next day, but they truly do get so excited every time they see it, and they are excited to jump right in and see what projects they got this month. KiwiCo is perfect for hands-on fun that is also educational. With 9 different lines, there's something for every age and interest. As a mother of 7, I can tell you that KiwiCo is tried and true, and my kids really do love KiwiCo, and I love it too because it keeps them entertained for such a long time, not just while they're doing the project and building and creating, but afterwards when they can play with the different things that they created. Each of my kids receive a different KiwiCo line depending on their age. Definitely the favorite one around here is the Tinker Crate. The Tinker Crate develops kids' natural creativity and curiosity using science, technology, engineering, and math. Several of the crates come with multiple projects, and everything you need is inside the crate with easy to follow directions with pictures, so they can do most of the projects on their own. The best part is that the prices are super affordable, and most KiwiCo subscriptions are about $20 a month. If you are ready to try KiwiCo, you can use the link down in my description box below, or use my code OurOilyHouse to get 50% off your first month.
I am making a beef bulgogi for lunch today, and I'm going to be serving it over rice. And so for this, I'm using some fresh onions and garlic from our garden, also some ginger, and then I'm using some ribeye steaks in this. It's a very easy meal that my family absolutely loves. We are just coming out of a few busy weeks with our fair, and also with just some other projects and things that we have going on around here. And everyone always says life is crazy and life is busy, and I feel like no matter if you have 0 kids or 20, or if you work inside your home or outside your home, you have a farm or you live in the city, our world is just busy and it's full of demands, and no matter what path you're on, most likely you find yourself with very little downtime. Yet we often can find ourselves procrastinating and unmotivated, and it makes us feel lazy. And with the overwhelming amount of information that's being thrown at us and all the different demands of life, we can oftentimes just shut down and honestly make us feel like we're getting nothing done. And part of that's if you are being a perfectionist and not finishing a certain task, or if you don't really have a plan or you're unorganized, it can make you waste a lot of extra time, and you're not necessarily lazy, but you're not using your time wisely. It is so important to be intentional with our time, even little blocks of time. I love time blocking, and as a mom, sometimes little blocks of time is all I get. If you have a make a list or planner personality like I do, you can get a daily planner with hour time frames, and at the beginning of the week, write out realistic goals or things you want to get done in each hour or block of time. This might be a couple of hours during nap time or after kids are in bed. This will look a little different for everyone depending on your schedule and your task. But I find that having one particular task for a block of time helps me to stay focused and on track. If you have a million of things to get done like most people do, sometimes it can be overwhelming to know where to start, and instead we may just choose to do nothing or waste that time with scrolling on our phones or doing something unproductive. I ran out to the grocery store to restock on some essential things. I thought I would do a quick little grocery haul here and give you some of my tips on grocery shopping. And so I don't normally have a full-blown list. If there's like a certain thing that I need for a recipe or something different that I usually don't buy, I will put that on a list. But majority of the time, I'm getting all of these same types of things. I try to avoid going down many of the center aisles, but staying more on the outside where the produce is, and the dairy products like cheese and butter, meat. But as you guys know, I don't really buy any meat from the grocery store because I get that from my sister's farm. I get all of my milk from a local dairy, and then I try to grow as much things as I can. But I've told you before that this year we have a rather small garden just because I know what's more realistic for this time of my life. But I find it easier for me just to go to the grocery store and stick to the essential things that we need. I don't really think about any certain meals that I have in mind, but yet just keeping my pantry full of all those staple items that I know I can use to whip up some easy meals throughout the week. I am going to be making some sauerkraut. Making sauerkraut is actually a lot easier than it might look. It is basically just cutting up some cabbage, adding salt, and then the only hard part, or labor intensive I guess I should say, is making the brine. But I always have lots of little helpers that like to help with that, because it's just punching down the cabbage until you get that liquid to form, and then putting it into mason jars. Sometimes the easiest way to be productive and not feel lazy is just to jump in and start doing things. I feel like a lot of times if I overthink things or think about certain things for a long time, I get more worked up about it in my head, and it seems like a much harder task than what it actually is. And if I just jump in and start doing it, I also feel like if I have a little bit of a plan and a structure of what I want to get done in a day, I have a little bit more time than I actually think if I stay focused on the task that I am doing. And if I have some downtime of just a few minutes thinking about something small that I can accomplish in that amount of time, rather than sitting down and like scrolling on my phone or something a little bit more wasteful of my time. We absolutely love having tacos, taco salads with all the fresh herbs and jalapenos and lettuce and things from the garden. This is one of our favorite meals that we like to enjoy during the summertime. I am sitting down at my computer now. I'm going to make a couple of labels for my skincare basket that I am putting together. Sometimes at the end of the day, I'll think back on what I accomplished on a particular day and start to think that I did not get a lot of things done. I have to remind myself that it's okay if certain tasks were not finished, and just, as long as the important things, taking care of the kids and getting food on the table, and, if I had any other commitments that day were fulfilled, it's okay if some little things were left undone. That doesn't mean that the day was necessarily unproductive, and it's okay if a task has to be pushed off to the next day or even later on in the week. I love gifting homemade gifts because they're just so much more meaningful. And I also love gifting consumable products like soap or lip balms or things that I know that people are actually going to use, because I know for me, I don't always love a lot of extra clutter, and sometimes it's a birthday or around Christmas or a holiday, there's a lot of things coming at you, and you don't necessarily need more things to clutter up your home or your space. And so having something that you can use and consumable is always a really great gift idea. Tonight we are making pizzas out on our pizza oven, and I'm taking the kids to the pool this afternoon, so I prepped some sourdough pizza crust this morning, and I'm getting all of my toppings made now, so then when we get home from the pool it'll be easy to put the pizzas together and enjoy a fun pizza night outside. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I don't always sound this horrible, so please stick around if you're new.